everyone! So I thought I would do a little get ready with me today, and I'm gonna do it talk through style and hopefully it'll go alright. I already put on my moisturizer and a clear lip balm, and I'm gonna get started right away with my Veil Mineral Primer. I've probably been using this primer for about a week now and I really do like it. It's just as I remember, very light, very easy to apply. It's not greasy, and I just think it suits my skin really nicely. I'm hoping I'm going to continue to enjoy it because I have a huge tube, the biggest tube available, which is 60 milliliters or 2 fluid ounces. So I'm hoping it's going to last me until November when I can stock up on another tube. Next up, I'm going to be applying my Boing Concealer. I love this concealer. It's by Benefit. I asked you guys for a cruelty-free recommendation and a few of you mentioned NARS, so I'm going to be looking into that. But for this concealer, I basically just take both the shades, the top and the bottom. I find both shades are quite similar. I have used them separately and I don't really notice a difference. So I'm just going to apply that on my under eye circles. And I also take it onto the lid, and this has been functioning as my eye makeup primer as well, so I haven't been using eye makeup primer. So here's the left eye done, and it makes a huge difference. I love this concealer. It is very rare that I find a concealer that I like so much. Most concealers that I've tried are just okay. I find they don't make a huge difference on me. So I'm excited to try the NARS one. I'm going to move on now to my foundation BB cream. Foundation and BB cream, I've been using the Tarte Amazonian Clay BB Tinted Moisturizer. I am really liking this. It's in the shade Tan, which sounds really dark, but it's actually perfect for me. I put a small pea-sized drop on the back of my hand, and I've been mixing it with a tiny bit of the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. This is in the shade Opal, and a little goes a long way, so I just put like a pinprick amount. I'm gonna mix them together on the back of my hand and then just kind of dot this all over my face. I like to spread it out a little bit more now, whereas before I would just leave it in globs. And then after I've done that, I take a freshly washed beauty blender and I go ahead and pat this all over my face to blend in the product. This is one of my favorite steps because I find having the beauty blender freshly washed and nice and cool, it's very comfortable and refreshing on my skin. So I really, really like this. I have a tendency to forget to blend this area, so I always make it a point to do that now. At this point, I'll usually get up and do something just to let my skin kind of air out and any excess moisture evaporate. Since I'm in front of the camera today, I'm going to take this time to apply some of this Vaseline Lip Therapy with rose and almond oil. This has a slight tint to it, and I'm also going to have my coffee. It's good. I like it better today too. It's more full-bodied, right? And I do have a tissue here. I've been wiping off my finger in between, you know, applying the different products. But yeah, this feels really nice. It also gives me a little bit of a tint on my lip, which I find more flattering than just having like a clear lip balm. Now I am ready to do my eye makeup. I've been using this combination of products lately. So for my eyeliner per se, I don't really wear eyeliner anymore. So I've been taking my teeny tiny brush. Normally I like to use Matte Batali, which is a beautiful matte chocolate brown. But today I think I'm going to use Matte McDonald, which is more of a charcoal color. None of these shades make a huge difference once it's on the eye. You can't really tell. Although some of the lighter shades, I've been using Matte Shilling, which is more of a green. You can sort of see that I don't have a neutral on my lid. It looks a little bit of greeny blue. Same with Matte Horowitz. I've used that in the past, which is more like a blue. And you can sort of tell that I have blue on my lids, but it's very subtle. So I add a thin bold line right at my lash line just to accentuate my eyes a little bit, and this I find functions as eyeliner. I am so happy I've finally dipped into my Estee Lauder palette and I've been really enjoying it. Today I'm going to be using a shade called Tempting Mocha. It's a medium tone shimmer shade and I'm just going to apply that right above where I applied the matte shadow. And I'm going to blend the edges a little bit just by taking my brush, and this is a slightly bigger brush than I used for the eyeliner per se. So I'm going to carefully work that in and blend out any harsh lines just with this little brush. So on top of this today, I'm going to take a shade called Tranquil Moon. This is a satin shade and it's got kind of a lavender feel to it. And I'm going to use this as a blending shade. So I'm going to essentially put that above the shade I just applied, but working it all over the lid to blend everything out. So everything's really gradual in terms of the transition on my lid, and there are no harsh lines left. So once I've done that, I go ahead and take a clean makeup brush, and I take this all over my lid just to blend the shadows a bit further, and also to take off any excess powder or eyeshadow that might still be lurking. I always like to put a light matte shade under the eye just to clean it up a little bit, and I find it brightens my eye a tiny bit as well. So I'm going to take Matte Smith from my Meet Matte palette. Typically I like a shade that's even lighter than this one, but this is all I have in my beauty basket, so I'm going to just go with it and not bring any additional products into the lineup just yet. I'm ready for my mascara. I'm just going to take a spoolie, run it through my lashes. I've been using a sample of the Lancome Hypnose Star Mascara, and I really like this one. I prefer it to the Hypnose Drama. And you may have noticed that I don't curl my lashes anymore. I find that my lashes are long enough that they kind of curl on their own. So I've been using Latisse, most of you know that. I've been using that for probably 2 years now. Even though they're not really that thick and voluminous, I'm just very happy that they're better than they were before. So now I'm going to take the spoolie from my Anastasia Brow Wiz, or Anastasia Brow Wiz, and I'm gonna run that through my brows. I always put brows on even if I'm not putting any other stitch of makeup on besides, like, say a lip balm or whatnot. I always fill in my brows just a tiny bit. And this was the Benefit Brows A Go Go kit. I take the two powders and I just mix them together. I do the dark shade first and then the light shade, essentially equal amounts, and then I go ahead and I just draw in my brows. This is the most time-consuming part of my routine. I don't love the process of filling in my brows because it takes so long, but it's my favorite in terms of the transformation it gives me. So there's one brow done, and this is my lighter brow, so if I had just filled in this one, it would be an even more pronounced difference. But now I'm going to do the other. I'm going to take the spoolie again just to take off any excess powder. Soften them up a little bit, especially in these middle sections here. And then I'm going to take my Anastasia Tinted Brow Gel in Granite and just run that over my brows to deposit a little bit of extra color, and this also helps my brows stay in place. So even though I don't have very many hairs, the hairs that I do have are quite long and they can get a little unruly, especially if I take a nap or whatnot and it pushes the hairs to one side. I'm also going to put in the NYX eyeliner in Velvet. I'm just gonna pop this into my waterline. Don't do this every day or even every weekend. It's just kind of when I remember. And this is completely optional, but I like to set the eyeliner that's in my waterline with a really light shimmery shadow. And if you have sensitive eyes, you'll probably want to skip this step. For contouring, I've been using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. This is a matte bronzer. I've been using it with my Benefit Hoola brush, and I basically just contour the hollows of my cheek. So I'll just do a line there and then kind of blend it downwards. I like to contour the side of my face like so, and then I'll just bring that down the neck a tiny bit, take that across the chin, and then I apply more product and do the other side. And I take whatever's left on my brush and I just do my hairline. Next, I'm going to be applying my blush, and I've been using this blush by Sisley. My husband bought me this a while ago. It's in the shade Pinky Berry, and I've been loving it. I've hit pan on it. I applied the blush quite liberally, as you will see, but then I blend it out with a bronzer. I received a great suggestion to start rotating my blushes, maybe try one a week to see how I like it, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I've been using this blush for a really long time. My intention was to finish it, but it's taking me so long, so I'm going to, I think, put this aside and move on to something else. So that's a whole lot of blush, I know, but I always do my makeup this way, and then I'm gonna blend it out. I'm going to take my Giorgio Armani bronzer, and I can't really show you because I've broken up all the remaining pieces. So I deposit a bunch on my powder brush, and then I go ahead and I basically put this all over my face. And this has been giving me a really bronzy appearance, which I like. By doing this, I also tone down the blush that I applied very liberally, and it becomes more of a glow from within rather than like these huge clown cheeks. One last step to tone all of this down is to take a clean powder brush. This is by Tarte, and I just run it all over my face. This takes off any excess powder and just blends everything in. It is now time for my lippy. This is truly, truly my favorite part. So I'm going to be using this YSL Rouge Volupté lipstick in number 13. This is my favorite right now. I just love the way this looks. It's such a pretty, pretty peach shade. I'm going to be just putting this kind of on my bottom lip and then rubbing my lips together. I don't like to put on a whole lot because this is quite opaque, and it does look very lipsticky on me. On top of this lipstick, I'm going to be putting on this beautiful nude by Marc Jacobs. It's in Role Play. I don't know if they make this one anymore. It seems like they've reformulated their lipsticks, or at least renamed them. But I think this is such a pretty shade. Suits my skin tone very nicely. Sometimes I feel it's a little bit too nude to wear on its own, especially if I'm going to work or whatnot and I don't have as much eye makeup on, so I do like to pair it with a brighter shade. I'm just gonna blot the inside a little bit. I don't like the feeling of having a lot of lipstick on. And then on top, I'm finally dipping into some of my Estee Lauder lip glosses. This came in the same eyeshadow palette set. This is in Magnificent Mauve or Magnificent Mauve. And it's a beautiful shimmery gloss that doesn't have a whole lot of pigment to it, which is how I prefer my glosses. So I am all done with my makeup. Here is the complete look. This is basically how I've been wearing my makeup as of late. It's always like this, especially on the weekends. I haven't been powdering my T-zone or anything like that when I initially put my makeup on, but I find throughout the day I do need a little bit of pressed powder or some blotting papers to take off the oil in my T-zone area, especially on my nose, because my nose gets really, really shiny. So that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be back very soon with another one. Until then, please take care and bye for now.